Yo guys, what is up? It is Alex or Black Eye here. This video is going to be about the drama resulting from Hi-Rez's decision to allow Layers to continue playing Phase 3 on the Titans from home due to mental health issues. But before going into that, I'd like to clarify something. In my last video, I said this. Again, there is very little information known about the decision that was made for HiRez to leave the Bolts and join the Leviathans. HiRez actually has a video detailing why he left, and I was not aware of this video's existence. That's 100% on me, and in future videos regarding anything news related, I'll make sure to do a better job of researching. My apologies, again, I don't have an excuse for that. Also in that video, I read a bit off of Layers' Twitlonger elaborating on his mental health and why he will not be playing in Phase 3 of SPL for the Titans. Well, on the morning of September 30th, SMITE Pro came out with a statement confirming that Layers will be allowed to play Phase 3 on the Titans from home. Quote, "In the past, we've made one-time exceptions to our league's LAN requirements when health issues arise for players. After extensive discussions with the Titans, we feel it's best to extend such an exception here and allow Layers to play out the rest of Phase 3 from home. He will be required to be on LAN for major events like the Phase 3 playoffs." I'm extremely happy that HiRez is acknowledging the importance of mental health, although the community didn't receive it entirely positive, mainly highlighting the fact that Layers seems to be getting special treatment even though there are rules in place that might say otherwise. This is a good decision, but if we're setting the standard of allowing players to play from home to preserve good mental health, maybe we should just go back to an online format for regular splits. So what's even the point of all pros living in Georgia? Send them home, free them from captivity, and bring back NA vs EU leagues. While I think it's very good that Layers chose to put his mental health first, and I have a ton of respect for him for doing so, I think HiRez is allowing him and Baskin to play from anywhere but in studio for most of the split is annoying and upsets not only me but a lot of pros. Exceptions to the rule of the LAN league should not be allowed if 95% of the league will uproot their lives for the entire year, IMO. Everyone is in unanimous agreement that it was smart for Layers to put his mental health first, although HiRez granting this exception has the community split. There's the group that is happy that HiRez is granting this exception, and there's the group that isn't happy. I want to emphasize that the group that isn't happy is expressing their anger at HiRez and not Layers. I also think both sides are completely valid. The side that is happy about this decision is just simply happy that HiRez is acknowledging mental health and they enjoy watching Layers play. The side that isn't happy is stating that there are rules in place and granting exceptions will just upset a lot of other pro players that have also been struggling but haven't spoken up for whatever reason that may be. The exception also raises some questions. Has anyone else brought up mental health issues? If so, have they been denied similar treatment and HiRez wanted to keep them quiet? Is it possible to go back to an online format? What is the criteria for allowing players to take leave and play from home? Thankfully, I can answer the first two questions right now. I tweeted some frustrations, notably stating that I wonder if other players have been denied exceptions for similar reasons to Layers. Avrin, SMITE esports brand and broadcast manager, replied to this tweet and confirmed that no other players were denied an exception for health reasons. This is great, as I know I wasn't the only one wondering if exceptions have been denied. Although this still presents some issues and other questions, but I will come back to this later because Avrin also made a post on Reddit detailing the positives of a LAN SPL league versus an online league, as well as clarifying more about the decision to allow Layers to play. It's a medium-length post, so here's the summary. About HiRez's commitment to a LAN SPL league versus online, Avrin detailed many reasons as to why this is beneficial. It allows for a more stable environment and ensures competitive integrity. The viewing experience is better due to higher quality content HiRez can only ensure if matches are in studio versus online. LAN SPL allows for mixed rosters and higher salary. Many of the current rosters wouldn't exist if it was online, such as the Kings, Bolts, Warriors, and Leviathans. Online formats causes more total teams to compete in the SPL, therefore proportionally decreasing player salary to accommodate. Operating a LAN SPL league allows for more sponsorship opportunities. Avrin states that most of the SPL sponsors would not be working with HiRez if SPL was online. Avrin then emphasized that this exception is a one-time thing, and there have been other exceptions in the past. She uses Bingman Tings in Phase 2 as an example. Avrin also states that every pro player knew what they were signing up for when they signed their contracts. Someone in this Reddit thread then asked if Baskin was given a health-related exemption, as he was under the belief that Baskin is playing the majority of the split remotely. Avrin responded by clarifying that Baskin will be playing some of it on LAN and some remotely. She then emphasized that given the circumstances, the Bolts couldn't find someone to fully relocate this quickly and other options were explored. Finally, in Genetics' livestream, or the support for the Camelot Kings, he revealed that there was a vote among all pro players on whether to have SPL online or in a LAN setting, and the vast majority of players agreed to have it on LAN for similar reasons Ovren mentioned on Reddit.
The SPL did a vote? I mean, I'll say it, the admins took a vote on whether they should stay LAN or online, and I think maybe one North American pro voted yes to online, and every other player from Europe, LATAM, Australia, and North America voted staying on LAN. You know why? Because if it's not on LAN, the production quality drops off. The quality in the team it fits into, the production staff wouldn't move there. You know, it's just not comparable, man.
And that's pretty much where the drama stands as of this video being uploaded. If you are watching this video, there's a very good chance that you aren't subscribed. If you enjoy informative and entertaining SMITE content, then I'd really appreciate your subscription. Even if you don't subscribe, I appreciate you making it this far into the video. Thanks again. Now I'd like to share my 2 cents, or 5 cents I guess, as I have 5 points I'd like to bring up. Firstly, I do not think SPL would benefit more from an online format versus a LAN format. Yes, there are pros and cons of both formats, but I think the pros of it being on LAN vastly outweighs the pros of it being online. I think the people that genuinely want the league to switch to online are viewing it how it used to be in rose-tinted glasses, and heavily basing their opinion off nostalgia. In Ovren's post, she specified that being homesick is different from genuine mental health issues, which I agree with. Although there is actual scientific research that suggests homesickness can actually cause mental health issues, which I do not think should be ignored. The articles on screen are about homesickness in college students, but I don't think it's a stretch to assume that the same could apply to SPL players. They are uprooting their lives to play SMITE professionally, just as some college students uproot their lives to study elsewhere. I believe that the exception to allow layers to play could be interpreted as a slap in the face to other pro players that are frustrated that they've been away from friends and family for so long. I absolutely do not know what's in SPL player contracts, but regardless, they did agree to the terms and conditions that were inside them. I only see 2 scenarios that ensure fairness among pro players when it comes to playing from home for a brief period of time due to homesickness or mental health related issues. The first one being is that there are no exceptions, regardless of their health status. I'm gonna say outright, this is a terrible idea, as there are many health issues that can be out of players' control and it would suck to lose a job due to this. Although, it would ensure fairness. The other option is to have clear and cut guidelines and criteria for allowing players to play from home for a brief period of time. This could already be a thing, but the only people that know what's in the contracts are HiRez and current SPL players. Anything in between these 2 scenarios I just presented allow for gray areas, which will just suck for anyone if exceptions are granted. If exceptions are granted within these gray areas, then that can cause a lot of confusion, misinformation, and general unrest between the entire SMITE community, well, as we just saw. But you know what? Even if there are clear and cut guidelines, there would still have to be exceptions as HiRez can't predict every possible scenario. And this actually leads into my next point. There are downsides to every single solution, and I just think that's a tough pill to swallow about life. In a lot of cases, there just isn't an answer or suggestion that has 0 downsides. Any suggestion that you have will have downsides, any changes that HiRez makes will have downsides, and any suggestions I make will have downsides. And this is why discussion about these kinds of things are positive for the community. It allows people to combine their perspectives to allow for the best course of action. But guess what? Whatever the best course of action may be, will have downsides. Lastly, I want to point out that there are so many underlying factors about these issues that we don't know about because we aren't HiRez. We do not have access to all the information HiRez does for obvious reasons such as specifics about budget and financials. This means that we, including myself, are all biased in our opinions as we do not know the full story. I also believe that upper management at HiRez is playing a part in all this, which is completely separate from the esports department we all know and love. I have a lot of respect for the esports department, but that doesn't mean there can't be improvements. I know I didn't really suggest anything, but at the very least I'm hoping discussion arises from this situation, which allows for better benefits for the professional SMITE players we all know and love. This has been Black Eye, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
These are just stories. This shit still so cold when it drop, it's gonna be a mother fucking snow day. Hey, boys.